I had always despised barren walls. I felt that walls were blank canvases that were meant to be adorned by symbolic pieces or works that represented who we are as people. Most of my walls had some form of a decoration, except for one. This wall was completely and utterly empty. For the longest time, I had been meaning to fill it, but I never got the chance until one day an idea hit me. This wall could become my inspiration wall. Yes, I could imagine it. I would grace it with pictures of public figures that I admired. I immediately got to work. My first task was to compile a list of the people that I wanted upon this wall. I decided that it would be best if I came up with the list off of memory rather than searching online. Once I was satisfied with the number of people to start my inspiration wall, I printed off their pictures and wrote their names out nicely. Finally, I put this all up onto the wall. I was happy with my work so far, and I invited my mom to look and see what I had done. When my mother came in, she was happy to see that I had added something to the bare wall I had been complaining about. She looked at it sweetly from afar, but as she got closer, the small smile faded and she turned to me to ask a
Is there
question.
any reason that all the people you're inspired by are Caucasian?
She asked. That wasn't a question I had been expecting, so I was taken aback. I just shrugged, but it was clear that my mother wanted an answer. I mumbled for a couple of moments before gathering up my thoughts and answering with,
Well, I made the list from memory, and I guess I most remember Caucasian people because, well, they're superior and they have more achievements, Mom.
It was now my mother's turn to be taken aback. I expected her to say something, but she didn't. She just left my room. I wasn't sure what it was that had made my mother disappointed, and I spent the following days trying to figure it out. I wanted desperately to know where I had gone wrong. However, I began to believe that I wouldn't find the answer and collapsed upon my bed, giving up. I turned to look at my inspiration wall, and I saw some words appear by Abraham Lincoln that hadn't been there before. Achievement has no color, they read. It took me a while to understand the message, but once I did, I was disgusted with myself for what I had said as an answer to my mom's question. My own behavior on the wall angered me. I hadn't picked the figures because they inspired me. I had picked them because they were powerful and influential, and of what once was a superior color of flesh. But colors of flesh don't guarantee achievement or failure. Our actions do. I now knew what my wall needed. It needed people upon it that were defined by their thoughts and behaviors, not the color of their flesh. My wall needed diversity and inclusiveness. My wall needed to mean something. For these reasons and more, I started my inspiration wall from scratch. This time, instead of compiling a list from memory, I began with research so that I could be aware of the many figures that have the power to inspire me. Also, this time I wanted the reason I put them on my wall to be written with their pictures. This way, I would always know why they mattered to me and the importance they had. But more importantly, this way, when someone asked, I could provide a legitimate reason to why they are successful and what achievements they have achieved rather than saying it's because of their skin color. Once I was satisfied with my inspiration wall, I invited my mom in to look at it once again and give me her opinions. She told me she was pleased with it and especially appreciated how I had included the reasons that they inspired me instead of just putting their pictures. The reason that stood out for her the most, however, was the reason I put for Abraham Lincoln. The 4 words I wrote for him are ones that I will never forget.